Hello and welcome. In this video, I'll show you how to create a simple AI cold caller that can help you to qualify B2B leads, get feedback, or whatever your use case is. The AI cold caller will extract the name and number from the Google Sheet and then call the person. Check out this demo. Okay, so for the demo, you'll use the Google Sheet, and in the Google Sheet, you can see that there are two columns. One is name and the other is phone number. Okay. Also, just to give you some context, here is the prompt, and the caller is Sarah from iDesign Institute admissions team. And basically, iDesign is a creative design program. So this is what they're calling for. And they're going to ask me a couple of questions regarding when I want to join, why do I want to join, and which city I'm from. Okay. Okay. And we will use this automation, and this automation is already connected to that Google Sheet. So once we run the automation, it will actually give a call to the first two numbers. There are only two phone numbers which are valid because I only have two phone numbers. All right, so let me just run the automation and show you exactly what I mean. Now it should give us a call on both the numbers. And there you go. So this is the first phone number which is ringing, and this is the second one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pick up only one of them.
Institute. You had filled our inquiry form, and I am reaching out to ask you a few questions. Is this a good time?
Yes, sir, this is a good time.
Great. Thank you for your time. I'll keep this brief. When are you planning to start the Creative Decision program?
So I am planning to actually next week probably.
That's wonderful to hear you're ready to start so soon. Next, could you share what motivates you to join the Creative Design program and what you hope to achieve by completing it?
Now, the reason I want to join the Creative Design program is because I want to look for a job in that field. I'm really interested in that.
That's a fantastic goal. It's great to hear you're passionate about pursuing a career in creative design. Lastly, could you let me know which city you are located in?
I'm located in Singapore.
Thank you for sharing that. Singapore is a vibrant city with a lot of opportunities in the creative field. We're excited about the possibility of helping you achieve your career goals. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to reach out.
Sure.
Thank you again, and have a great day.
Thank you. As you saw in the demo, the AI cold caller calls both the numbers from the Google Sheet. Now, I only have two working phone numbers, but if you have a complete list, the AI caller can call multiple numbers simultaneously or iterate through them one by one. Also, instead of using Google Sheets, you can use your own CRM such as HubSpot, Salesforce, etc. Now, in this example, I'll show you how to create a simple AI cold caller, but you can really soup it up with additional automations. You can create automations to summarize meeting notes at the end of the call, schedule appointments automatically with interested customers, conduct A/B tests with different cold calling scripts to see which one does better with your audience, send WhatsApp status messages automatically, and much more. You can also configure the AI caller to call only during specific times. And if it misses a call, it can automatically call back later. Or if the person says that they are busy, it can ask them for a convenient time to call and then add it to the calendar. The possibilities are literally endless, and the best part is that they can be tailored to your specific needs. Apologies for this plug early on, but if you're interested in tutorials and how-to videos on the latest AI technology, be sure to subscribe now so you don't forget and miss out. Okay, let's get back. So, whether you're running an agency, working in insurance or real estate, or selling educational courses, using an AI cold caller for qualifying leads can save you lots of time and money. Similarly, if you own a restaurant or are a doctor, run a hair salon, or have any other business, you can use an AI caller to gather feedback, helping you understand your customers better and strengthening your brand. Okay, now let's see how to build this AI caller. If you're watching my videos for the first time and don't know who I am, my name is Sandeep Kayastha. I have over 2 decades of experience in building technology-driven systems, and I've worked with multiple Fortune 500 companies. I also hold double master's degree from top US universities. Now, I run my AI agency called FlipBytes, where we help businesses with automations using AI to help them streamline their workflow, get them more clients, boost their productivity, and save them money. Okay, in this video, I will walk you through step by step how to build an AI cold caller from scratch using VAPI Voice API, Make.com automations, and Google Sheets. Okay, so here is what we will do. Step 1. Import all the contacts in Google Sheet with all the names and numbers and make sure that they are formatted correctly. Number 2, we will create an AI voice assistant with VAPI API and integrate that with Make Automation. Okay, and step 3, we will create an AI voice call schema with VAPI API and then run the whole system. Okay, so there you go. That's the plan. Now this will be a comprehensive step-by-step video for building a basic AI cold caller. However, if your requirements are more advanced, I suggest joining a FlipBytes AI community. We'll meet with other voice AI enthusiasts who can help you. Or you can book a free discovery call with my agency, FlipBytes, where we can discuss your project. I'll leave the link to join the community or to book a call with my agency in the description. All right, for now, close all your tabs, grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage, and let's get started. Don't forget to add this video to your favorites so you can easily come back to it later for reference. As always, all the templates, links, documents, prompts, etc., which I use in this video will be available on the Resource Hub. Okay. Now let's go to step 1, which is importing all the contacts in Google Sheet. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to give you a brief review of exactly what we'll be doing, what steps there are, and how will we go about doing everything, okay? So once we start, we come to the Google Sheet, as you saw in the demo, okay? So the Google Sheet has number column and the name column, as you can see out here. But you can actually add other columns as well. Let's say you want to put in something called reason for call, okay? So when the AI caller is like calling me, you can say that, hey Sandeep, I'm calling because you submitted a form on our website and you expressed interest in this particular program XYZ or something like that. So you can actually have that information and the AI assistant can capture that as well. But anyways, in our example, we just have name and phone number. Another thing which I want to mention is that you can either import the numbers directly into your Google Sheet, okay, which we have done right now. And the second option is that you can have a form. So you can have a Google form, or you can have a WordPress form or a type form, whatever you want to use, that can input that all the details directly into the Google Sheet. And we can write an automation which actually recognizes the moment there is a new record, it will trigger the automation. All right, so that can be done as well. But anyway, for this example, which we just have, we'll have a regular phone number and a name and everything, and then what the automation will do is it'll pick up the numbers and then give a call. Okay, so that is what the first sheet is. Okay, the next one is VAPI, and it goes to, so once we have the sheet, the next step is to create an assistant in VAPI. Now this creating an assistant is in VAPI, the reason we use an API is because in a platform we cannot add multiple numbers. All right, so for that reason we need to use an API to do outbound calls. Yeah, so that is where the second step is. Basically we'll create an assistant with using VAPI API and then add it to the make.com automation right here. Okay, so step 1 is Google Sheet. Next is we create a VAPI assistant in using the API. The third is that we actually integrate that within Make, as I showed you right here. The fourth is that we will actually create another schema, which is called we'll use the VAPI API to create a call. Okay, and that call has got a schema which we'll use in the HTTP post request. Now, what is an HTTP post request? This is what will make the outbound call. Okay, so it needs a number, it needs the name of the person, and of course it needs the assistant. All right, so all three are, I'm going to go through this all, but all three are mentioned right here. So this is where we create the schema in the API, in the VAPI API, and what this does is this gives an outbound call. Okay, great. So the step 1 is to create a Google Sheet. Let's go to make.com and create our automation out there. So once we go here, the first step is to create a Google Sheet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, instead of actually creating a new scenario, I'm just going to show you how to do this, and I'll just take you through this scenario itself. So the first module is your Google Sheet. So you can go out here, click on this thing, click on Google Sheet, and when you click on Google Sheet, there are options, right? So you will go into search options. So if you, let me just zoom it up, it's search rows. Why is it search rows? Basically because what you need to do is you need to search through this thing, pick up if there are blanks or not blanks and everything, you'll go through this particular sheet and then pick up the values. So you'll put a search rows module right here. Once you put a search row module, what you need to do is you need to actually, so I've connected with my email. What you can do is you can connect with yours. Okay, so you need to just add it out here, and once you add, it will actually ask you a new connection, and then you can connect with your own email. So once you do that, you can go into the sheet which you want. In my case, the spreadsheet ID is automated AI cold calling example. If you go here, this is exactly what it is right here. Okay. And then it's sheet 1. So which is sheet 1 right here. And that's it. And then after that, does the table contain headers? Yes, it does contain headers. So the first has name and phone number. These are the heading columns. And then we go down. So custom range A to Z. And then in this case, we have 2 columns. Okay, so in the filter, you need to say that, okay, these numbers and names need to exist. Otherwise, what it's going to do is it will pick up a blank and then send it to VAPI to give a call, which is not right. Okay, so this is sort of a validation which we are doing. So in the filter column, we say name and phone number, which is basic operator. So if you open that, there is something called exists, and you'll say yes, it exists and exists. That's it. Then you come down, and then in the order you can say ascending, and the unit you can set 2. Now this is an important thing. In the limit, the reason I've set 2 is because only the first 2 numbers in my Google Sheet are real phone numbers which can actually give a call. Okay, if you leave this blank and if you delete this, what is going to happen is it's going to give a call to every number on the sheet. All right, so if you want that, but I don't have so many numbers obviously, but if you're giving let's say if you have uploaded a sheet which has got 100 numbers and you want to give a call, you just leave it, either make it 100 or just leave it blank, and it'll give a call to every number. In my case, it's 2 basically, because I just have 2 valid numbers and I just want VAPI to only call them. All right, so that is it. These are the settings which you need to do. All right, so once you do that, the next step is array aggregator. So what it's going to do is, it is this particular step, it reads through the Google Sheet and gets all the values out. Okay, so it will get out all the 2 values which we want. So how do you get this step? In tools, you'll go to tools and you can say array aggregator right here. So when you open this, all right, and you will say Google rows 1 right here, and then after that select in the aggregator, this thing, you can see that their total number of bundles, you'll select this, and then the 2 columns, name and phone number, and that's it, nothing else, and just say okay. You see, there's nothing else. All right, in the aggregator, so after array aggregator, you will have an iterator. So what is an iterator? Iterator basically means that it iterates through the values. So once you go through iterator, all you need to do is just give the array out here. So once you open it right here, when you click on this thing, you will see that this is the option which you have. Just pick up array and just put it out here like this. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this. All right, great. Okay, so this is all configured. Now we have a Google Sheet, then we have an array which reads the Google Sheet, and we have an iterator basically which iterates through all the records. All right, so the next thing is you go into tools and you call it a variable. Now, why do you need a variable? Okay, so let me just, so this is where we call an assistant. This is where we create an assistant. The reason we're using a set variable is basically because in your HTTP post request, okay, so if you go down, we need to specify an assistant. Obviously, we don't want to write the whole code right here. So it's much better to create a variable which actually stores the schema for the assistant, and then we can just pass the variable name. All right, so this JSON string. So let me just show it to you. So when you go into tools, you'll say the variable name is assistant. And how do you get tools? You'll go to tools, you'll go to set variable right here. Sorry, this is get. You go to set variable right here. Okay, and you click on that. Once you click on that, it comes here. Then you open this thing and you say assistant, and then you paste the schema. Now, how do you create this schema? Let me just copy this right now. Okay, great. Let me explain it to you first. All right. So what we need to do is we need to create a schema. This schema is essentially nothing but an AI assistant. All right. So the now next step, which is step number 2, is to create an assistant using VAPI API. All right, and that is exactly where we'll create the schema to put into the variable. All right, so let's go to VAPI API. All right, so as I showed you, this is the API reference. You go to API docs and come right here. All right, now there is something which is very important which I need you to understand. So now when you create a VAPI assistant, okay, in API, it is exactly the same as creating it out here. So let me just give an example. So let's see. All right, so now let's say we are in this particular assistant, okay, and in this assistant we have a model, we have a first message, we have a transcriber. Let's start with a transcriber. Okay, and now if you open the body right here, what we need to do is we need to specify a transcriber, and let me show you the schema as well. Okay, so right on top is a transcriber, and it's the provider is DeepGram, Nova 2, and language is equal to English. All right, so now let's go here. If you see the transcriber, you have DeepGram, English language, and Nova 2 is the model, right? And even if you take a new one, it's exactly, so let me just create a new assistant itself, so it's easier for you to understand. Okay. So this is the new assistant, and if you see the transcriber, it's by default, it's DeepGram, English, and Nova 2. You can change it out here as well. And once you go to VAPI, now if you go to the API docs, you'll see that in the right here you have DeepGram. So in the provider settings, what you'll do is you'll say check DeepGram, and there you go. It's automatically start building this up, okay? And in the model, you'll say Nova 2. In the language, you'll say EN, English. Okay, that's it. And it's already started creating the schema for you. Now, if you see, let me just show you the pattern, okay? Sorry, right here. See that? Transcriber, everything right here. So this is it, okay? And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to write any code. You just keep on modifying this and it'll automatically start writing the code for you. So now the next thing is, after that, transcriber is the model, all right? So we need the model. So what is the model? So now let's come back to the model right here. In the model, I have a first message, which I need to write something out here. So let me just go back in this place. So you have a first message. You have a provider, which is called, in the model, basically you have a provider, which is OpenAI. Then you have a model, then you have a knowledge base, then you have a temperature, and then you have max tokens. All right. So if you go into our schema, what do we have? We have a model, we have a provider, we have a model, we have a temperature, and we have, of course, we have the prompt. Okay. All right. So let's go here now, and let's go to model. So this is the object. If you keep on going down, you should be able to see the model. Yes. So async model. Now we need to select OpenAI. Where's OpenAI? OpenAI model right here. Okay, so we select OpenAI, and then within the tools and the provider, we'll select OpenAI. See, again, it's updating everything. And in the model, we select GPT-4o, and then in the temperature, we can say 0.5. Okay, and then you have other settings as well. So I'm not touching the other settings, but if you want, you can actually do that in max tokens. Let's say you want to put in 300. I don't know what exactly I put in. I think it was 300 or 250. Temperature was 0.5. Tokens, I did not specify that. Anyways, so you can say 250 or 300, whatever you want to put in. And so then again, this is all getting updated in real time out here. Okay. So when you go into messages as well, so let's say if you go on the top model, message array. So if you open this, you have object, and within object you have a role. Okay, so this is where you need to put in your prompt. This is a system prompt, not a user prompt. So you put a system prompt, and in the content string, you will put in the prompt. Okay, so I showed you the prompt before, basically that you are Sarah. Let me just open this a little bit bigger. Sarah is a member of iDesign Institute, which basically sells courses, design courses and everything, and is giving me a call because I had expressed interest in joining one of their courses. Okay, so the reason I'm getting a call is because I filled up a form. I submitted a form there with my name and phone number, and now they are calling me back. So Sarah is giving me a call saying that, hey, are you still interested, and when would you like to join? First question. Second one was that I think, yeah, why do you want to join and everything, and third is which city do you belong to? So as you saw in the demo, so this is exactly the prompt we are putting out here, right? So let me just shorten this a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put the prompt right here, quotes, because it's going to automatically add the quotes. So I'm just going to say this right here like this, and if you can see, it has added the role messages. Okay, so now if you compare it directly with this, you have model, temperature, tokens, and then after that you have something called role and system and content. So you already have everything. Okay, so the next is voice. Okay, so this is done pretty much. Now voice. So now let's go to this place. So in our actual prompt as well, so this first message is going to come later on, but in our model, basically, if you see, we have the system prompt, which we have added the provider, we have added the model, we have added the temperature, and we have added the max tokens. All right, I don't have a knowledge base, but if you had, you can add that as well. All right, so we have done the model, we have done the transcriber. Now the next is voice. Okay, within voice, I'm using Sarah, which is 11 labs, and 11 Turbo 2.5 is the model, all right, with the background sound off. So now let's look at our schema for this one. In this one, which I've used, it's provider 11 labs, okay, Sarah, and model is this thing. So right here, all right. So let's go to our API and let's find where is the voice. There you see, you have voice out here, right? So now you open voice. Now which one it is? It is 11 labs. I'm using 11 labs. You can use whatever you want. If you're using Cartesia, then you actually use this one. So 11 labs is what I'm going to be opening. Within that, you have a provider. So who's the provider? 11 labs is the provider. Voice ID. Now in voice ID, I'm going to pick up Sarah. All right. And then in the stability, I did not put any of these things, but you can actually mention stability meter and all those things, because if you go down, you have all of these things. So everything which you have in the platform, it is available to you in the API. All right. So when you have Sarah, then you actually go down to stability meter. This is done. And the model. Okay. So in the model, I'm going to use version 2.5 turbo because that is what I'm using. 11 labs turbo. Yes. Okay. Or sorry. Yeah. 11 labs turbo 2.5. And that's it. So if you see now, if you go down, it is exactly the same thing. Voice provider is 11 labs, Sarah 11 turbo. This is done. Okay. So after that, the next is first message mode. Assistant speaks first. And now we have to do the first message thing. Okay. So in the first message, now we need to do is we say assistant speaks first. And after that, we go down. And so the next thing, according to our schema, is that we need to find name and first message. Okay, so we need to find name, and there you have name. So in name, you will actually put in automated AI cold caller. This is what I put in, but you can actually put in anything, whatever you want. Okay, and this is where we put the first message, and you can see this is getting updated right here. So in the first message, you can say something like what I'm saying is, hello Sarah. Hello, this is Sarah from Design Institute. You have had filled inquiry from, and I'm reaching out to ask a few questions. Is it a good time? And we put this out here. So we just also add it out here. Okay. So now we have literally everything, and recording enabled is equal to true. Okay. And in the artificial plan, you have this something called recording enabled, and then you just make it true. Okay. So now this is what it is. I'm just going to copy this. Copy this, and that's pretty much what this is. All right. And now what we'll do is we'll go back to our make automation. And if you can see right here, we just add this. So this is where you paste this. Okay. And this is the assistant right here. Now, why did we paste this? So this is a variable. Now what we've done is we have created a variable, and we'll use this later on. Okay. So this assistant variable has this whole schema. Okay, and this is what we'll pass when we actually do a HTTP post request. This is exactly what we'll pass so that it can call the assistant. Just a quick note. I hope you're finding this video helpful, and if you are, please give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Making these videos takes a lot of time and effort, so your support really helps this channel and encourages me to keep making more content like this for you. Also, I firmly believe that AI automation can be transformative for many businesses. So on this channel, my goal is to create many more videos where I show you step by step how to use AI to automate business workflows and processes to boost your productivity. So if you're interested in this kind of content, hit the subscribe button now so you never miss out when I post a new video. If you'd like to work with us, you can schedule a free 30-minute discovery call with me. I'll leave all the links in the description. Okay, let's get back to the video. Okay, so the next step is once we have the variable, okay, you can see everything is right here in the output. If you see, this is all there. Okay, what we need to do is we need to add a step called parse JSON, which is to extract the array. Okay, and in this, what we'll do is we will pass the assistant. So if you open this within the brackets, so remember the square brackets, we need to use that. And this assistant is, you just pick this up and you put it here. That's it. Okay, within the square brackets. So this is going to extract the array. So in order to create the array, basically, this is what you need to do. Okay, so we'll do this, and after that we'll add another step called array aggregator. So it aggregates all the arrays. So now in this case, what we'll do is after this, you will have a JSON parser. So in this step, this is step 5. So you'll use that, and then you select everything. So you'll say transcriber, model, voice, first message, name, first message, everything is selected. Okay, so the reason we do this is, if you see in the tools section, okay, so if you open this under output, if you see this, you have all this data right here. Okay, there's a lot of metadata which you don't want. Okay, and if in case you go down to the array into the JSON parser, you'll see everything is very clean. Right here, everything is so clean and put it out there. So this is the reason we actually it removes all the metadata, everything which is not required. Okay, so that is the reason we create that and we convert that into an array. So now after this, after the array aggregator, what we do is next is that we will actually put a step called transform to JSON. Okay, and within transform to JSON we put first. Now the reason I put first is basically because we are just looking for assistant. This is what we need to extract. Okay, so there's a function called first within, it's a native function. Now if you want to search, you say first, and you can see it right here, right? So you can actually use this, and within that you pass the array. Okay, and this is what is going to extract the assistant right here. All right, so now after this, once this is done, then you go to the step which is the HTTP post request. So now the final call is to make the VAPI, the outbound call. Okay, so now we need to do the HTTP post request. For that we need to add this, and if in case, you can go here and you can use this right here. Okay, so this is the HTTP module. So you add that, and once you open that, you have the URL, the post method. So where do you get all these things from? So let's go back to VAPI now, and within this you have a create assistant, and if you go down to API, there's something called create call. All right, so in create call you have a post authorization. So you have the bearer out here, and then you have the call as well. So this is the post. So if you select this, yeah, so this is HTTP API, and if you say /call, okay, so it's right here. So this is where it's coming from, /call. All right, and then within the authorization string, so which out here in the authorization, so this, the method is post. Why is it post? Basically because it's a post right here. To create a call, you need to have a post method with, so you put that out here, and after that within the authorization, within headers, you'd say authorization. You just copy and paste this authorization, bearer, and your API key. Now I have my API key, but you need to use your own API key. Now where do you find your API key? When you go into VAPI. So if you go to VAPI in your dashboard, let me just go to the dashboard right real quick. Okay, so if you click on your name, and within that you will say something called API keys. When you go to API keys, you can see your private key out here. So you can copy this, and then you can actually paste it right there. So you go back to make, and then you put your API key right here. Okay, and I cannot show you my API key, so I'm not going to put it right now, but I will put it when I have to demonstrate again. All right, so this is there. After this is add a header. This is all normal, and then body type is raw, and then you have JSON. Now what we need is, in this case, we need a schema which has customer information. So we need a customer number, a name, and then phone number, ID, and the assistant. There are 4 fields. Okay, so this is what we need. So within the schema, so let's go back, and now we'll create that out here. So in the body, if you go here, you can see something called, so we already have an assistant. We have already created an assistant. If you see, we already have an assistant. Okay, but we need the schema. So in order to create a schema, we will actually go back and then just write something out here. So in assistant ID, and if I say deepgram, and it's right here, it's already, now it's created the assistant. So you can see it right here, it's assistant. Okay, and then try script, but we don't need all this. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. So once you delete that, and then I'm going to delete this as well. So this is what we needed. This is the schema, right? So what we'll do is we'll put our own assistant right here. All right, so assistant is done. The next is what we need is we need customer information. So let's go down and let's find where the customer information is. Okay, so now we have phone number ID. So what is phone number ID? This is the phone number. Okay, and where do we get this from? So we need to put this. So now if you go back to your VAPI, so once you have a phone number, then you can actually come to the platform. Within the platform, you'll go to phone numbers, and then you see this ID out here. Okay, so then you copy this ID, and this is what goes out there. So you can click on that phone number ID string. So once you paste that, it will actually put this phone number ID. So if you see our, oh, so this is 1 second. Let me just remove it like this. I'm going to go back to make, and let me just copy this right here. Okay. So out of, this is the schema which we want. So let's see what we have now. We already have the phone number ID is this, and we have the assistant. Okay, and which is again right here. So at least 2 of these things are done. So now next is we need a customer, and let's find customer. All right, so now we have customer string right here, okay? So customer ID, we don't have a customer ID, we need a customer number, okay? So you can put in any number. This is gonna be substituted because it's coming directly from the Google Sheet, if you remember, right? So we just need a placeholder right now. So let's go to string and I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4 string. So again, it puts a number. So this customer number, right? Customer number is right here. And then the next thing is the name. And I'll say Sandeep. Again, we remove this, or maybe I can say something else because Sandeep is anyways coming from. So Joe. Okay, so it puts Joe out here. All right, so now we have all the 4 things. We have, if you see the schema, we have a customer, number, name, we have the phone number ID, and we also have the assistant ID. All right, so we have everything. Perfect. So let's copy this. So what we do is we copy this and we go back to our make scenario and we paste this out here. Now, one more thing you need to remember is in the number format, you just put a plus in front. If you remember in the sheet, we have phone number with the country codes in front, okay? But we don't have a plus sign because in Google Sheet, it's difficult to put a plus sign. It takes it as something else. So it's better to actually put the plus sign right here. So then when the number comes in, it comes directly from there, okay? Okay, so we have name, phone number, you have the phone number ID, and we have the assistant. All of these things are done now. And that's it. That's the final thing. So that is the whole flow. All right. So now what I'll do is I'm going to run this one more time just to show you that if it works or not. Anyway, this is my phone right here. So what I'm going to do is I think everything is done. Let me just run it once and see. Okay. And as you can see, I'm getting a phone call. Okay. I can pick up the phone call. Let's see.
This is Sarah from iDesign Institute. You had filled our inquiry form and I am reaching out to ask you a few questions. Is this a good time?
Yeah, this is a good time. Okay, so I'm going to hang up right now. I've already done this before. And that's it. We have now created a basic AI cold caller. I hope you liked this video and found it helpful. If you are a business looking to build an AI cold caller with more advanced features, such as end of call summary or automatically scheduling meetings with interested customers, we can certainly help you with that. We are a full service AI agency, and this is exactly what we do. Just schedule a free 30-minute discovery call with me and we can discuss your project. I will drop the meeting link in the description. Finally, here's another step-by-step video on how to create an AI voice appointment setter from scratch using VAPI. Or you can also watch another video that I'm sure you'll find very useful. I can't wait to see you in future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.